So with Lima Sopoaga heading overseas at the end of the season, the question's kind of been brought up. Do the All Blacks lack depth at the 10 jersey? I've ranked a few names who will still be around in New Zealand rugby in the coming year or two, just to have a look at how this depth actually looks. So first of all, obviously you got Bodie. I can't see anyone unseating him from his position. He's kind of in that Dan Carter slot that he was in a few years ago. He's the number one guy. He used to fight it out with Cruden before 2015 World Cup, before Cruden got injured. It was kind of between the two of them. It was the last time we really had a legitimate kind of who is the best 10 in New Zealand. But Bodie ended up getting the job, and he's kind of gone from strength to strength. You know, he's got a pretty particular game. He runs it. His distribution is good. His kicking from hand, those cross kicks he does are pretty magic. Place kicking is inconsistent, but still, he is the player that he is, and he's the guy with the top job. I think this second level, at the moment, is pretty much set in stone. I don't see that there's much argument about these. With Sopoaga going, I mean, sometimes the All Blacks will still pick guys who are heading overseas for some tests, like they kept picking Caballo right up until he went to France. I feel like with Sopoaga, that might be it for him, especially because there's still question marks about these two guys. Damian McKenzie, we've seen him in the All Black jersey before, no problems, but we haven't really seen him at 10. We haven't even seen him there for the Chiefs, really. So, yeah, this is going to be a season for him where he needs to show what he can do at 10 and see if that kind of Chiefs form, if he's got it, can translate to the black jersey. So we know he's got it, but can he do it at 10? Is kind of the lingering question with him. Mo'unga, I mean, I think at the moment, if you were picking a team today, he might even be the first choice backup to Bodie. Just because we know he can do it at 10. I mean, he's won a Super Rugby final playing at 10. So, yeah, I think he's your guy. If Damian McKenzie proves he can do it, then you've got a genuine kind of battle for the backup spot. I can't see any of them challenging Bowden in the near future anyway. And the good thing about both of these guys is they're both versatile. Well, all three of them really. They're versatile enough to move positions if needed. So they can all play fullback. I think Richie Mo'unga has only done it at Mitre 10 Cup level. Don't remember him doing it for the Crusaders, but he's got kind of that ability. This third level is kind of where it gets interesting. So these are your kind of emergency kind of World Cup 2011 where, you know, Carter, Slade, Cruden all got injured, and you end up with your Stephen Donald, who's your guy kind of on the outer. These guys are definitely not set in stone. It could be any of these guys, or potentially someone else. So Otere Black, if he's fit, I think he's a pretty steady hand. I don't think he'd look out of place in an All Blacks jersey. Ihia West is probably an unlikely one. The only reason I've really got him here is, one, because he's played regular Super Rugby as a starter at 10, even though he didn't impress as much as he could. But he has played for the Māori All Blacks and done all right at 10. And he might turn it around at the Hurricanes as Bodie's backup. So, yeah, I'll still leave him in with a shot. Stephen Perifetta, really early on in his career to say, but he looks like the kind of player that the All Blacks could fast track. There are some guys who, like kind of Sopoaga, have to really pay their dues to get any minutes in the All Blacks jersey, and there are the other guys. Geordie Barrett's one, Asafa Amua is another, who just kind of, you can tell they're on the fast track and they're wanted to be in the black jersey as soon as possible. So Stephen Perifetta strikes me as the type who could be on that line, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Mitch Hunt with the Crusaders, you know, he's looked composed in the games that we've seen him. Again, you wouldn't put him at this level yet, but he's got that potential. And again, he plays fullback, so the All Blacks do like a good a good versatile guy to back up if possible. We saw that from Bodie when he first got his shot in the black jersey. He was often a utility man. I've put Bryn Gatlanders there as well, mainly with him because he looked alright against the British and Irish Lions, so that kind of gave him a bit of kudos. So he's got some rep built up with the New Zealand rugby public anyway. So it still remains to be seen really whether he can kind of push on from there. So how's that for depth? I mean, any of these guys, you'd probably have faith that they could drive the All Blacks around the park. This area is definitely, I wouldn't say a concern, but it's a unsurety for sure, and the All Blacks don't really do that. They go with, you know, plans and consistency and whatnot. So, I mean, a couple of other guys who I thought about, you know, Marty McKenzie. He plays 10 at Mitre 10 Cup level. He's versatile. He can play fullback. He's been on the wing before. So, yeah, he's been steady when he's played Super Rugby. But I would say he's really on the outer. Like, he'd be a real fringe prospect to get in. Jackson Garden-Bishop's another one. He's pretty much a specialised 10 as far as I'm aware. So, I think he would be well down the pecking order, but you never know. So yeah, I can't see any of these guys getting anywhere near it unless there was that kind of catastrophe where you lost multiple guys to injury. And I think there's enough potential in guys like Perifetta, Hunt, Gatland, and Black if he's fit, that we won't be too worried about what's going to happen. I mean, a lot of these guys are still really young. Bodie's 26. Damien McKenzie's 22, Richie Morgan's only 23, so you've got at least 2019 and then probably the next World Cup after, 2023. Yeah, Terry Black's 22, even though it seems like he's been around forever. Ehai West, the old man, at 26. So, yeah, Stephen Perifetta's 20. A lot of young guys, so given a bit of time, experience, just minutes really, I think we'll see who the next guy is. At the moment, it's kind of been Barrett, Cruden, and then Sopoaga. Sopoaga kind of missing the cut at times because he doesn't have that other position that he can play. I don't have any problem with Barrett Moanga McKenzie or Barrett McKenzie Moanga. That's fine. I think the All Blacks are in pretty good hands. So, yeah, we'll see how things pan out in the season, whether D Mac can prove it at 10, and if Moanga gets a shot in the black jersey, I think he's probably paid his dues, so we will see. Let me know what you think, if you think any of these guys have a chance. If there's someone else I missed that you think might be a bolter to jump in the black jersey for 2018, or look possibly at pushing for 2019. Still plenty of time for guys to put their hand up, so we'll see what happens. Alright guys, I'll talk to you again soon.